Hey guys, and welcome back to the BP Gaming Network. We are playing Out of the Park Baseball 21, featuring our Oakland Athletics franchise. It is July, so we are in the month of July. Things are moving along pretty fast, and we've got a fun game for you guys today. A matchup between the Baltimore Orioles and the Athletics. This will be in Oakland at the Coliseum. So before we get to that game, let's do just a quick recap on where things are at and what's happening, and then we'll get you guys to today's game. Well, we're getting into that stage where things are starting to kind of heat up a little bit. This is now where we start to really establish our position as far as if we're going to, get into the playoffs or not. This is also a time of the year where we start to really think about trades and stuff like that. So this is the trading block right now. And you can see that there's a lot of players on the trading block. We have a ton of players, about 50 players. These are just pitchers, by the way. If I show you the batters, there's about 49 batters that are potentially on the trading block. So there's going to be a ton of activity in the month of July and a bit trickling over into the month of August, where we'll be thinking about what kind of moves to make and how to better improve our team for this year as well as in the long run. So if you guys remember at the start of the season, we talked about our philosophy and things like that. Our draft philosophy was heavily focused on trying to draft pitchers, and then we had we talked about our trading and transactions philosophy, if you will. That was going to focus more on trying to fill in gaps for both our Oakland Athletics team as well as our minor league teams. Right now, if we talk about the Athletics, I can quickly show you guys how I determined this. We're basically considering to upgrade second base, starting pitching, and catching. Those are the three key positions we think we really need to upgrade for the Athletics right now. As far as depth, so in terms of building up a sizable amount of depth in certain positions for a minor league system, we're considering depth in first base, starting pitching, left field, relief, and right field. So outfield is a bit of a iffy situation for us. We do have some okay serviceable outfielders, and but starting pitching and relief pitching is always going to be sort of a challenge. Right now we have a very good bullpen. But as far as our starting rotation is a bit, I don't have the utmost confidence in our starting rotation. We have a couple good guys, but they're young guys who we're relying upon to really lift this team, and they've kept us going thus far. So let's just, as we talk, I'm going to just show you guys kind of where things are at. So this is our current depth chart, and this is our best lineup at the moment. In first base, we've got Matt Olsen, so no concerns there. In my opinion, perhaps one of the best first basemen in the entire MLB right now. Second base, we've got Tony Kemp, and surprisingly enough, Tony Kemp has really outperformed, in my opinion, as far as my expectations for second base. It is still considered a weak position for us compared to the rest of the league. So when we do the league comparison, second base is a weak spot for the Oakland Athletics. But with Tony Kemp there, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. Third base, we've got Chad Pinder. Chad Pinder came in to relieve Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman is probably one of the best third basemen in MLB at the moment, among the top, if not top three, in my opinion. We currently have him playing in our AAA. We had to demote him just because he's been struggling quite a bit. Not necessarily on defense, but he's been struggling offensively quite a bit. So we sent him down to AAA Aviators just to put in a few reps there, try to work on his mechanics and try to sort himself out. We expect to have him back, so he's not going to be out for too long. In his replacement, we put in Chad Pinder here, and you can see the numbers. Chad Pinder has just been, he's been excellent for us, tremendous. Depth-wise, we do have Breivik Valera. He's mostly primarily a second baseman, but he can also play third, and he's okay in that position. Shortstop, again, you know, all-star Marcus Semien. Can't ask for any better right now. I mean, Marcus had his troubles a few years back as far as defense, and you know, this is a sign of when you work with a guy who has potential and try to get him to reach that potential, this is what you get. So Marcus is right now one of our best shortstops, so no concerns there. You know, we're satisfied in that position. Left field, right now we've got Robbie Grossman, and left field rotates between Robbie and Mark Canha. And they're both decent in that position. Robbie has a bit of power when it comes to gap power. Mark Canha has power in all fields and also can hit home runs. So, you know, and, you know, he's decent in left field, and Robbie is also decent in left field. Not the best, but serviceable, decent. Center field, we've got the young Ramon La Riano. Ramon has actually performed really well, relatively. You know, he's not a major offensive contributor, but he is very serviceable in center field for us right now, and he's doing a tremendous job. He's quite fast, so he's speedy, and he gets the job done there. Right field, we have Steven Piscotty. Steven, extremely reliable, has really come through for us in a lot of key games. Clutch player. Doing a tremendous job in right field, and so we're happy there. So as far as positioning, the main concern, or the only area of concern I would say, is probably in our catching department. But we have two young guys. We're supposed to have Sean Murphy technically as our starting catcher, but he got injured. He's on the DL. We expect him soon, actually. But Jonah Heim and Austin Allen have just been tremendous. Now, Austin Allen has been struggling of late as far as offensively. Defensively, as a catcher, he's actually pretty okay. And, you know, if we kind of go into his ratings, let's go into his ratings here as a catcher. You can see his catcher arm. You know, it's just average. The catching ability in that position, again, nothing special, and his catching rating is just average. Jonah Heim, on the other hand, has just been tremendous offensively. Look at this guy, man. You know, and I know he's only had 44 plate appearances and 41 at-bats, but he's got a batting average of 366, and he's got 3 home runs. But look at that OPS, right? 1.045. Just amazing. Jonah Heim has really surprised me. Rating wise, he's a lot better rated as a catcher. His catching ability just about average. His catcher arm, you know, just about above average, and then his catching ability rated as just slightly above average. So not a huge difference, but a tiny bit of a difference between him and Austin. And then we do have Sean Murphy. So if I was looking to kind of boost any area in our team right now for position players, it would be in, you know, catching position. So that's how things look so far as our depth chart. Now, if we take a look at our pitching, let's take a look at our current starting rotation. So Frankie Montes is kind of our ace at the moment, and he's been pitching well. He did run into some trouble there in the month of May and June, but he's come through quite a bit. So he's got the qualifier there, 100 and 2/3 innings pitched so far with a 4.38 ERA. So pretty good. Win and loss record, he's got a 7-4 win-loss record. Sean Manai, who was our starting ace at the beginning of the year, kind of run into some troubles, not pitching at the level that we would expect him to be pitching at, but he's still got some life in him, so I'm not losing hope there. Mike Fiers struggled tremendously. Started off okay at the beginning of the year, kind of struggling right now with a 5.58 ERA. This is where the guys who've really kept us in the game and in contention in the position we're in right now is AJ Park and Jesus Luzardo and Frankie Montes. So looking at AJ Park, I mean, this guy, 25 years of age, the win-loss record 4-4, but the ERA 3.90 in 62 and 1/3 innings. Jesus Luzardo, this kid, man, he's lost only one game. He's got an 8-1 win-loss record in 81 and 2/3 innings. He's got an ERA of 3.20. So the young guys here have been a huge boost for the Oakland Athletics. The veterans not living up to their expectations. So I don't know. We may have to start thinking about making some moves here. Perhaps if Mike Fiers continues to struggle, Sean Manai, I don't know. We may consider bringing somebody else in to boost them up. Maybe put Mike Fiers in a bullpen. I don't know, and perhaps give Bassett a chance. Who knows? But we'll see. But this is where I have the most problems, right? We've got maybe 3 decent or good pitchers right now, based on stats, not based on their actual ratings. So, and that's not a bad position to be in. Excuse me. I mean, when you've got a 5-man rotation and 3 of your pitchers are good, that's not bad. I would like to at least have, another pitcher who, just in case we run into injuries as we start to battle and try to get ourselves into the playoffs. So I'd like to bring in maybe a little bit of a cushion a bit in our rotation. So if I'm thinking about trades right now, this is where my mindset is at. So I'm looking to maybe bolster our rotation and our bullpen a tiny bit. The bullpen has been actually outstanding. JB Wendelken is the only one who's struggled quite a bit. Everybody else is pitched okay. Liam Hendricks, arguably the best closer in the game right now. Jake Dijkman, I mean, the setup man and / closer at times, outstanding, 3.91 ERA. Lou Trevino, again, another setup man. Struggled last year, this year, pitching really well so far. In just a tiny bit more than half of the innings pitched compared to last year. Yasmero Petit, again, this is somebody that I can call upon when I need a closer, when I'm desperate for a closer. So really, really performing exceptionally well in that mid-relief position. JB struggling quite a bit, and we might even consider sending JB down to AAA Nashville, maybe bring Mengden, I don't know. We just optioned Mengden down to AAA. And then we got Tana Anderson, and this is somebody who is he's an emergency starting pitcher if need be, but as a relief pitcher, he's been tremendous for us. He's been pitching really well. Chris Bassett, again, this is somebody I can call upon if I need an emergency starter. Last year he pitched in 144 innings and had a 3.81 ERA. So he definitely can give us the cushion that I need in my starting rotation there. And then we got TJ McFarland. I mean, he's been consistent. He's pitched well, 4.76 ERA. Not the greatest, not awfully bad, just okay. All right. So that's a little snapshot of where the team stands, or how things look for the team. Like I said, this is the month of July is where the most trades tend to happen in the MLB. We do have the All-Star break coming up. Gives managers enough time to start strategizing and dealing. So this is where we're at. I'm focusing a lot more on pitchers. If we go based on overall ratings, I mean, there's some guys here we cannot afford. Let's just be honest. we don't have a huge budget. And so if we're now that we're talking about trades and things like that, let's quickly just go back and let's take a look at our front office. So you can see we don't have any money left for free agents, but we do have some money left for signing extensions. So at the moment, we really don't have a lot of room to weigh in deal. And if we look at the projections for next year, right? So we're anticipating potentially, depending on how things go, to have a tiny bit of a cushion where we could try. I mean, in the end, if we keep things as they are based on our current payroll, we could have. We're not going to get this entire 67 mil for next year. I mean, our owner is not that generous, but we could have somewhere close enough to maybe $30-40 million that we can have available for extensions. Plus, we could have an additional maybe $8 to $10 million that we can have to sign free agents. But we'll see when the time comes, when the numbers are crunched and where we're at. So the amount of cash that we have available is $2 million. And we haven't even signed all of our draft picks. We still have some guys here who are asking for a lot of money, and we don't have enough money to offer all of them an opportunity. But these are guys that we traded from the 4th round upwards. So I'm not supremely concerned if we can't work out a deal with these guys, because like if we go to negotiate, if you take a look here, it tells you that this guy's asking for $1.1 million, and the recommended slot bonus is $450, and then we had a budget of $3.1 mil. We've already overspent. And this is not that we've spent the money, this is we've spent some, and the rest is offers that we already have out. So we have more money that we've offered and about to spend than we actually have. So in essence, we have no money to try and meet this guy's demand, right? So I can't meet his demand. If I go meet his demand, I won't have the budget to actually do that. And at the same time, I don't, what we could do, we could actually try to go for Floyd. Or maybe Connor Angel. We could try to go for one of these guys that are easy to sign, forgo the other ones, and that would give us a tiny bit more cash to spend on trying to meet one of these guys' demands. I think we can meet this guy's demand. Let's go for Connor here. You know what? He's asking for 180. Submit that offer. All right, we'll see what he has to say. These other guys are asking for just about $500,000. All right, we'll see. So that's where things are at. We don't have a lot of money, is all I'm trying to say, in order to really bring in high caliber players as far as the draft. I mean, as far as the trades. But there are some guys that we can try to bring on our side here. So, Kwang Hyun Kim, highly rated pitcher there. He's got a very decent slider. Just above average fastball and a decent changeup. He has just above average stuff, average movement, and just above average control. So this is somebody we can consider. Let's take a look at his last contract. So he's got about $4 million left for this year, and he's got $4 million left for next year. I mean, he's pitched okay. He's new to the MLB. You can see last year he was pitching for the Korean League. So and he's got a WAR of 1.0 for St. Louis. I mean, you know, this is not a bad opportunity, or at least a bad candidate for us to consider. So, anyway, we're not going to spend too much time today going through the trade potentials. I just wanted to loop you guys into what to expect in the coming videos. So the videos will be a tiny bit more frequent as far as the play out weeks. I'm not going to play 2 weeks and then have a video. It'll be probably on a weekly basis and walk you guys through our transactions and the weighing and dealing that we're doing. So we probably won't have too many videos of games for the next couple of videos. It will be more transactions and trying to get through the month of July. See if we can trade for some decent guys. I'll give you guys an idea. I am heavily considering parting ways with some guys. And I'll let you guys know in our next videos who some of those guys are. I'm thinking of shaking things up a little bit, but you know, that's just a thought. We'll see. So let's take a look at how things went again. Like I said, since the last time that we had a video, as I mentioned, we started this 3-game series against the Marlins. We've swept the Marlins. You can see we started on the 29th, won the game on the 30th. And now it is the 1st of July. I mean, sorry, today's the 2nd. So yesterday was the 1st of July. We won that game. So we swept the Marlins. Now we're starting a 4-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. And this is going to be at home. And then we're going to hit the road as we face off against the Giants in a 2-game series. And then we're going to have a 4-game series on the road against the Mariners. And then we get the All-Star break. And then we resume at home against the Astros and then the Braves. And then we're going to play the Orioles again at the end of the month, and the Astros, and then the Rangers. So that's the outlook of where how things stack up for the Athletics. Where are we at so far? Let's quickly take a look at the MLB standings. So we're doing tremendously well, guys. I mean, we've got a 50-37 record, which is good for first place in the American League. And yeah, we're the Twins are closely following us there, and then the Astros in 3rd place. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm nervous because this is now, you know, the beginning of the final stretch. July is always the you know, the time of the year where each game has a playoff implication. So we have to really up our game and perform really well. So yeah, so we'll get started and you know, take you guys to this game against the Orioles. And before we do that, as always, we're going to quickly start off with our pitching matchup. So here is tonight's starters. So for the Orioles, they're sending out Kvs Samson, and Kvs is had an okay so-so season. He's got a 5-7 win and loss record. He's got a 4.57 ERA in 80 2/3 innings pitched and a WHIP of 1.55. For the Athletics, we're sending out AJ Puk. And AJ Puk has got a 4-4 win and loss record, 3.90 ERA, that's in 62 1/3 innings, and a WHIP of just 1.49. Not the best, but not too bad. So the Athletics have a tiny edge here with their lefty when compared to the Orioles' right-handed Kvs Samson. All right, so that's your matchup for pitching for today's game. We'll see how this one plays out, and it is now time to go to the field. So here we are at the Oakland Athletics Coliseum, and before we get started, actually, we'll quickly take a look at the the visitors, the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. And you can see the Orioles there. They got a win and loss record of 42 and 45. And this is a team that's been decimated by injuries. These guys have a ton of injuries, probably more injuries than any other team in the MLB right now. Their starting lineup, leadoff will be Hanser Alberto, the second baseman. Batting second will be Yusniel Diaz, the center fielder. In the number 3 hole will be Rios Ruiz, the third baseman. The cleanup hitter will be Ryan Mountcastle, the first baseman. In the number 5 position will be Anthony Santander, the right fielder. In the 6th position will be the DH, Renato Nunez. And you can see Nunez's numbers there. So far he's got 18 home runs and OPS of .834. Not the greatest season, but he is amongst one of their best players so far. So you can tell that they've had their issues. Batting 7th, the shortstop, Jose Rondon. Batting 8th, the left fielder, Dwight Smith Jr. Batting 9th, the catcher, Pedro Severino. And the catcher, Kvs Samson. Okay, guys, so here we go. This is the Coliseum there. You're having a nice look there. The camera is panning. AJ Pack is ready to pitch, and he'll be facing the leadoff there, Hanser Alberto. All right, well, not the start that we expected here. So Hanser comes in with a home run to center field. Wow. Okay, so that guy does have a bit of power there. All right, so what I'm gonna do here real quick is let's just change one of the options here for the cameras. I like the action camera to be that camera, home plate. All right, so batting second with nobody out, nobody on. Yes, Neil Diaz. All right, so Diaz is set down, strikes out swinging. That will bring up Rio Ruiz. And he is retired, and that will bring up Ryan Mountcastle. Back-to-back, well, not back-to-back, but 2 strikeouts there. And AJ recovers after giving up that home run. So that retires his side, and we'll move on to the bottom of the first inning. And before we get this one started, we'll quickly take a look at the starting lineups for your Oakland Athletics. So leading off for the Athletics will be the left fielder, Robbie Grossman. Batting second will be the second baseman, Tony Kemp. Batting third will be the shortstop, Marcus Semien. And Marcus has been the lightning rod for the Athletics thus far in this season. He's got a .282 batting average, 25 home runs, and .924 OPS. So, yeah, he's basically been a major key driver of our offense. Batting in the in the cleanup position, will be Matt Olsen. Batting fifth, the DH Chris Davis. Batting sixth will be the third baseman Chad Pinder. Batting seventh will be the catcher Jonah Heim. Batting eighth, the right fielder Stephen Piscotty. Batting ninth will be the center fielder Ramon La Riano. And the Athletics pitcher AJ Puck. All right. So we're ready to get the bottom of the second inning started. Kvs Samson pitching for the Orioles. All right, Grossman is set down. Tony Kemp will bat next. Tony hits a line drive that's caught by the third baseman, and he's set down. That'll bring up Marcus Semien. So you can see the shadows moving in. It's starting to... it's the early evening. The sun is basically going down. All right, so Marcus Semien strikes out swinging, and he is retired. So we'll move on to the top of the second. Santander is set down. Renato Nunez. Nunez will come up with a hit single to center field. So the Orioles now have a runner at first. One out, and one on. That could be a double play, and it is a double play. So quick inning there for the Athletics as they turn a 6-4-3 double play. And now we'll move on to the bottom of the second. Matt Olsen leading for the Athletics. Olsen hits a pop fly. It's caught. He's set down. Chris Davis, the DH. Davis comes through with a hit single to right field. Davis takes first base. And now Chad Pinder batting next with one out, one on. Pinder flies out to right field. So now two outs with one on for the catcher, Jonah Heim. And Jonah Heim works his way into a walk, so he'll take first. That advances Chris Davis to second. All right, Stephen Piscotty has an opportunity here to equalize as the Athletics have a runner in scoring position. And that doesn't materialize as the inning is over. So we'll move on to the top of the third. Leading off for the Orioles will be Dwight Smith Jr. Dwight Smith flies out to right field, and that was too close. The catcher, Pedro Severino, hits a pop fly. It's caught by the second baseman. He's set down. Hanser Alberto. Alberto tries to bunt, and it doesn't work out. So 3 up, 3 down. So now we'll move on to the bottom of the third. And leading off for the Athletics, Ramon La Riano. Oh, that should have been an out, but that will be recorded as an E3. So an error is charged against the first baseman. That allows Ramon to get on base. And now with a runner on at first, Robbie Grossman will now face off against Kvs Samson. So Kvs gives up a walk, his second walk so far. Robbie Grossman will take first, and Laureano will take second now. And we've got Tony Kemp, the second baseman for the Athletics, batting with nobody out. And he strikes out swinging. That brings up Marcus Semien with a tremendous opportunity to try and get the Athletics on the board. And he does just that. So Marcus Semien comes through with a run-scoring single, an RBI single to center field. So the score is now 1-1. And the Athletics only have one man out with 2 on for Matt Olsen. All right, so Samson gives up his third walk, and the bases are loaded for the Athletics DH, Chris Davis, as I like to call him in Oakland, Crash Davis. And Crash Davis comes through with a hit, a run-scoring double. Okay, actually a 2-run scoring triple. 3-run scoring triple. That's right. That puts the Athletics in the lead now. Tremendous play. The Athletics are now leading 4-1 in the bottom of the third, and there's only one out. So Chris Davis is at third base and threatening to score for Chad Pinder. Pinder strikes out swinging. Unfortunate there. The catcher, Jonaheim, will come to bat there. He can increase this lead. And he hits a pop fly just behind second base. And it's caught. That retires the side. The inning is over, but the Athletics manage to get the lead now 4-1. Leading off for the Orioles. At the top of the fourth, Yusniel Diaz. Diaz is set down. That brings up the third baseman, Rio Ruiz. And Ruiz comes up with a hit single to center field. And there was a shift there by the Athletics as Ryan Mountcastle comes in. Mountcastle hits a pop fly. It's caught by the first baseman. And now there's two out for the Orioles with one on. Anthony Sanditar batting next. And Sanditar hits a ground ball to the shortstop. And they get the force out at third, which retires the side. So the inning is over. Now we move on to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the fourth, actually. My apologies. This is the fifth walk given up by Samson, and that allows Stephen Piscotty to take first. That becomes his sixth walk. Sorry, that is actually the fifth walk. I'm not seeing the numbers today. Oh, a wild pitch. Things just keep going from bad to worse here for Samson. So he gives up back-to-back walks. Now you have a runner on at second and third. Nobody out. And Robbie Grossman batting lefty versus righty. All right, Grossman strikes out swinging. A tremendous opportunity wasted there. Tony Kemp will come in and see if he can add more to this lead for the Athletics. Tony Kemp comes with the RBI single to right field, and he does increase the lead to 5-1 Athletics. Tony Kemp continues to play really, really well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pitching change. Samson has left the game after giving up 5 runs. Now we have the lefty, Drew Harrington. Drew Harrington, so far this year, has not pitched at all in the MLB. So Drew might be a recent call-up. Let's quickly take a look. So yes, Drew was called up from Double-A to the big leagues by the Orioles. So this is his first stint in the MLB. So let's see how he fares here. He's got a tough situation going on. Got runners on at first and third with only one out and facing Marcus Semien. Semien flies out to left field. So that's Drew Harrington's first out in his pitching career in the MLB. Matt Olsen will bat next. All right. The young Harrington gives up a walk to Matt Olsen. So now he's got the bases loaded again. Exact situation as the last one, where the DH, Chris Davis for the Athletics, faces the pitcher with bases loaded. Let's see what happens now. All right, well, he hits a ground ball to the third baseman, and they get the force out at first. So the young Drew Harrington works himself out of trouble there, and will now move on to the top of the fifth. Leading off for the Orioles, Renato Nunez. Nunez strikes out swinging. He's set down quickly. The shortstop, Jose Rendon. Rendon comes up with a hit. Single to center field. And I'll bring the left fielder, Dwight Smith Jr. Dwight Smith hits a ground ball. It's caught by the second baseman, and they turn a double play. So that's a 4-6-3 double play to retire the side. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the Athletics lead this one 5-1. We are now in the bottom of the 5th. We have already had a pitching change for the Orioles, as Drew Harrington is still on the mound. Pinder with a long fly ball to right field. It's caught and he is set down. The switch hitting catcher Jonahheim will now face Drew Harrington. Jonahheim strikes out swinging. So a good start so far for the young Drew Harrington as he faces the Athletics right fielder Stephen Piscotty. Oh, that would have been an easy 1, 2, 3 and out, but no, this inning is still going on. So an error is charged against the third baseman Rio Ruiz. That allows Stephen Piscotty to advance his run all the way to second base. So Ramon La Riano with 2 outs has an opportunity here to increase his lead. And with that pressure, the young Harrington gives up a walk to Ramon La Riano. So we're now back up to the top of the lineup for the Athletics as Robbie Grossman will come into bat. And Grossman has a single to left field. It's shallow. The ball is shallow. Piscotty is an average runner, and Dwight has a normal arm. We will take the chance here, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a wrong move. Doesn't pan out. We had a lead. We had to take that chance. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. So the side is retired as we're caught trying to steal home. And now we'll move on to the top of the 6th. Now, if you take a look at AJ Park's efficiency, he's already pitched in 5 innings and has only thrown 48 pitches so far. Has not given up a single walk. So he's going to face off against the catcher Pedro Severino, who strikes out swinging to start the top of the 6th. That will bring Hanser Alberto. If you remember, in the first inning, Hanser hit a home run to center field. This time it doesn't work out, so he hits a fly ball to just behind first base. It's caught and he is set down. Yusniel Diaz will now come to bat, and he strikes out swinging. They say he broke the plane, so it doesn't matter. Broke the pane, sorry. Alright, so that inning is over. We'll now move on to the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for the Athletics, Tony Kemp. Kemp is set down. Marcus Semien facing Drew Harrington. So Drew Harrington gives up a walk there. So that's his second walk. And just like that, there's a pitching change. So not a bad outing for the young Drew Harrington for the Orioles. We'll see how his future progresses along in the MLB. We wish him well. But they will now bring in Tom Hackimer. Tom Hackimer has got a win and loss record of 0-1. He's pitched in 30-1 innings. He's got an ERA of 6.53. And he's a right-handed pitcher facing the lefty, Matt Olsen. Alright, so back-to-back walks by 2 different pitchers. Matt Olsen walks to first, Marcus Semien advances to second, and the DH Chris Davis will now face off against Tom Hackimer. Chris Davis flies out to right field, so now there's 2 outs for the Athletics, and the third baseman Pinder will come into bat. Pinder comes through with a hit single to right field. The ball is shallow. Semien is a fast runner. Santana has a great arm. Do we risk this? Let's think about this. We've got an okay matchup coming up. I'm not going to risk this one. Oh, no, I did risk it. I hit the wrong button. Okay, it panned out. I meant to instruct Semien to actually stop and stay at third base, but we waved him on anyway, and with his speed, he managed to beat the great arm of Anthony Santander, and that increases the Athletics' lead to 6-1. So a mistake by the coach that works out to our favor. Jonah Heim will face Tom Hakima with 2 on. Jonah Heim. That was a good, well hit ball, but it's caught near the warning line there at center field. All right, so we're now in the top of the 7th inning. AJ Park is still pitching for the Athletics. He's not given up. He's only given up 1 run so far. He's going to face the third baseman, Rio Ruiz. Ruiz is set down. And here comes Ryan Mountcastle. Mountcastle strikes out swinging. That ball was nowhere near the zone. Santander comes in and hits a fly ball to left field. That retires the side. The inning is over, and ladies and gentlemen, it's the 7th inning stretch. All right. Play ball. Okay, so the bottom of the 7th, we've got Stephen Piscotty leading off for the Athletics, facing Tom Hakima. The Athletics lead this one by 5 runs, 6-1. Now let's see how this one ends. And Piscotty strikes out swinging, not having a good night so far. And then we'll see a pitching change as the right-handed pitcher Dylan Tate will come in to replace Hakima. Tate, so far, hasn't had any decisions in his favor or against him. He's pitched in 4 1/3 innings. He's got an ERA of 2.08. And he'll face Ramon La Riano. So Tate comes in and right away gives up a walk to Ramon. Now Ramon is a threat to steal. We've got 1 out. We got a lead here. Severino is a good catcher, but I think we can try and push the envelope a tiny bit here. So let's see if we can get Ramon to steal. So Ramon doesn't get a good jump there. The count is now 0-1. I'm going to try and get Ramon to steal again. And La Riano steals second base. So like I mentioned earlier, La Riano is a very athletic guy. He's got some speed. He's able to steal bases. And that's exactly what he does there. So now Robbie Grossman, with a count of 1-1, has a tremendous opportunity with a runner in scoring position. Oh, Robbie Grossman comes up with a run-scoring double to right field. And the Athletics have now increased their lead to 7-1. The lead is now a 6-run lead. And that's why we make those risks. Again, that double could have only allowed us to get to third base. But instead, because we stole the base, took a risk there, we were able to get a run. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you engineer runs in baseball. So you have to take risks from time to time. They have to be calculated. You got to know your stats and know what you're doing. So it doesn't always work out. That's the thing about it. All right, so Tate gives up a walk, his second walk in this inning. So now the Athletics have runners on at first and second with only 1 out. And now that brings up the shortstop Marcus Semien, who's only had 1 hit so far in this game and 1 RBI. So Semien flies out to center field. All right, so that brings up the ever-dangerous Matt Olsen. So the lefty facing the righty, Dylan Tate. Matt Olsen comes up with... So we've got a decision to make here. Tony Kemp is an average runner. Dwight has... And the ball is really far. I am taking this chance any day, all day. So, Matt Olsen comes up with a 2-run scoring double to left center field. That increases the Athletics' lead to now 9-1, an 8-run lead against the Baltimore Orioles. And we have 2 outs, runner on at second, and Chris Davis, the DH, batting next. Davis comes through with a hit to left field. Another decision to make. Ball is shallow. Olsen is a slow runner, and Dwight has a normal arm. No risk here. So we're not going to risk that one. Yes, Matt Olsen is not a fast runner at all. He's got power though, just not fast. That's okay. So we still have a tremendous opportunity here with Chad Pinder facing off against Dylan Tate. And Dylan Tate doesn't allow any more runs as Chad Pinder flies out to left field. The side is retired. And now the lead is an 8-run lead as we move on to the top of the 8th. All right, so I'm keeping a close eye out on AJ. And I might let him pitch this entire game based on how he's pitching and where we're at so far. But that's going to depend on the next 2 innings. Let's go. Renato Nunez, the DH, flies out to left field. He's set down. And that's how we begin the top of the 8th. Jose Rondon is going to face AJ Puck. Could that be? No, Rondon flies out to left center field. Now that looked like he was going to go the distance, but it didn't. Dwight Smith Jr. is going to face off against AJ Puck. And Dwight Smith strikes out looking. So AJ Puck comes in, top of the 8th inning, makes quick work out of the Orioles. And now we'll move on to the bottom of the 8th. So we still have Jonah Heim, the catcher for the Athletics, leading off to face Dylan Tate, who's still on the mound. Dylan Tate. Jonah Heim hits a slow ground ball. It's caught by the third baseman, and they retire him. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pitching change as Tana Scott is going to replace Tate. Tana Scott is a left-handed pitcher. He's got a 1-1 win-loss record. He's pitched in 36 1/3 innings out of relief for the Orioles. He has 48 strikeouts and an ERA of 2.97. So a fairly capable relief pitcher here. And he's going to face off against Steven Piscotty. And Piscotty flies out to right field, which brings up Ramon La Riano to face Tana Scott. So they say that La Riano checked his swing there, and he gets a walk. So La Riano will take first. If you remember in the last inning, the last time La Riano stole the base. We're not going to tempt fate twice. Or maybe we will. We got 2 outs. What do we care? I mean, we have a tremendous lead. We can afford to take these risks, and we do exactly that. So his second stolen base, the speedy Ramon La Riano. So that gives Robbie Grossman, the switch hitter, a tremendous opportunity as he's now batting from the right side as he's facing the lefty Tana Scott. The lead is 8 runs, 9-1 Athletics. So Tana Scott gives up a walk here, his second walk now, to Robbie Grossman. That will bring in Tony Kemp, lefty against lefty. Now, can we try and do something about that? I think we can. So I got an opportunity here. We can bring in Franklin Barreto, or we can bring in Breivik Valera. Breivik is pitched okay so far. And you know what? I'm going to go with Breivik Valera, as he's going to come in, and being a switch hitter, he's going to bat from the right side, facing the lefty Tana Scott with a runner on at first and second. So Tana Scott gives up his third walk, I believe. Yes. That makes it now bases loaded for the Athletics for the ever dangerous Marcus Semien. Tremendous opportunity here. So what can he do facing the lefty? Semien hits a fly ball to shallow center field. It's caught, and that retires the side. The inning is over. We have some changes to make on our lineup since we brought in a pinch hitter. So Breivik is going to take over at second as he replaces Tony Kemp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the top of the 9th inning. The Athletics will have AJ Puk still pitch as he faces Pedro Severino. Could that be? No, it wouldn't be. So a tremendous opportunity there. It looked like that one was going to leave the park, but it didn't. That is the first out at the top of the 9th inning for AJ Puk. Maybe wondering why I'm leaving AJ in there. He's only, I mean, his efficiency in today's game is just a work of art. He has pitched thus far in 8 1/3 innings, has only thrown 75 pitches. So yes, we're going to keep AJ in there. That could be his second out in the 9th inning. So he's got one more batter left to pitch a complete 9-inning game. And that does come through as he forces a pop fly against Yusniel Diaz, and that becomes the 3rd out. As you saw there, we just got a little achievement. AJ Puk pitches in 9 full innings. And the game is over. So, what a tremendous game here. I mean, I don't know what to say. The Orioles are struggling, I understand. And a win is a win, even though we know that the Orioles have their problems. They've had to call up a lot of young players from their minor league system to deal with their injuries. It's unfortunate, but we will take this one. AJ Puk is your player of the game. He goes 9 innings, gives up 4 hits and just 1 run, no walks. He was in total control, pure domination by AJ Puk. We saw some good offense today as well, guys. We saw Chris Davis come through with some key doubles, Robbie Grossman. We also saw Matt Olsen also had key hits. The most, I would say, the game changer was the hit by Chris Davis, which happened in the bottom of the 3rd. That really allowed us to increase our lead, and then we just took it from there. Now, Kvs Samson, our pitching matchup, he went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. 4 hits, 5 runs. 4 of them were earned, so 4 earned. His ERA is 4.82 compared to AJ Puk, and they really burned through their bullpen there. You had Drew Harrington there pitching in his first game in the MLB. I think he pitched really well in that game, considering that that was his first game ever. All right, guys. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. So we continue to perform well. Our win-loss record now is 41 and 37. That gives us a nice cushion of 3.5 games ahead of the number 2 team in our division, which is the Houston Astros. So, yeah, I mean, I really hope we continue this. And like I said, there will be a few more videos coming up that will focus more on the decision making that we'll have to do. I can't talk. We've got a few trades to consider, and this is trading season now. It's July in our season. That means that it's time to start doing exactly what a manager does. So we'll leave it here. If you enjoyed this, if it's your first time to our channel, please subscribe. If you like to see more of these videos, you know, hit that like button, and there's also the comment section. Let us know what you think. Any suggestions, ideas, we'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks guys. Hope to see you in the next video.